Welcome back to the show, everyone. If you are in the business of either selling a business or buying a business, I've got the deal firm here with me, and business brokers Adam Gilman and Tom Burns. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Very nice to have you here. We've had some wonderful conversation before the segment started. I'm anxious to continue it. But first, for those viewers who are watching and they don't know what exactly a business broker is, they've heard a million times real estate brokers, real estate agents.
Right.
How are you different than a home real estate agent or broker?
Well,
We're better looking.
we're certainly better looking, but
That's a great place to start.
but no, we're real estate agents, but for businesses, and
Great way
not
of
for
putting
homes, right?
Great way of putting it.
So we specialize in the sale and purchases of businesses, and what that means is we'll go in and we'll meet with a business owner, we'll do a valuation. If everyone's on the same page, then we'll take it to market, we'll market the business, and then on the other side of the equation, we'll screen the buyers, bring in a buyer, and then hopefully everything goes well, and then we'll facilitate the deal to the close. So we facilitate from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm. So you really take the anxiety out of the process. You make sure that you have NDAs in place so
Correct.
that both buyer and seller are protected. Correct?
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to disclose anything. You want to keep that confidentiality, right? And so when somebody is going through that process, and I have done this personally, and I was actually in Paris. This is how relaxed I was because I had turned it over to a professional.
Right.
And they did the deal for me. And I came back, actually, I think I signed the documents while I was still in Paris and flew back and
That's the way to do it.
finished the sale here. So your position is wonderful to just take the guesswork out of everything that both buyer and seller are going through.
It is, because like selling a house, a business, selling a business is a process. So our job is to be an intermediary between the buyer and seller, similar to selling a house, right?
Right.
And hopefully if the parties work together, and we try to approach our deals in a collaboration between the parties so that everyone works together, and that typically makes it for a smoother transition.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of smooth transitions, Tom, I understand you have a father here. Who's
I didn't realize
104
he's
years
so
old.
popular. When he was 100, I threw him a big birthday party over at 19, the restaurant, and so we just finished his 104th birthday party.
Well, tell him happy
And there's a
birthday.
picture, yeah, and many people know him.
look
He
at
stopped playing
that.
golf when he was about 95.
Aw,
And
that's so sweet.
104. Yeah, he's quite popular over there.
Now, was he in the business before you got into it?
No, he's a retired New York City motorcycle cop.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
And then went to Grumman Aerospace and retired from there.
Well, he is living life to its fullest.
Yeah. Then he worked for me for maybe 10 years downtown Los Angeles with my garment factory. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. And he lives with you now?
Yeah.
That's great.
He does. The funniest thing just happened recently because the police department of New York sent him a letter asking for proof of life. They've been paying him since,
That is hysterical.
a pension for over 65 years. They've been paying him a pension.
Like, are you sure you're still alive?
I mean, Tom, I
that's
have to ask you,
fantastic.
who's taking care of food?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more
Aw,
difficult.
That's a great story.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
Love
no, he
it.
wasn't a broker, to answer your question.
Well, back to businesses. Who is your typical client? Who are you serving right now?
Main Street typically is what we take care of. Anything from $500,000 to $10 million, but that would be lower middle market. But the local bakeries or the restaurants, recently sold a law firm. I think I mentioned it last time. I sold a resort a fishing resort up in way up above Mammoth.
Did you?
That was pretty interesting, yeah.
So you focus mainly in California, Southern California. Where's your region?
We're licensed in California.
Okay.
But our focus is in Southern California.
Yeah.
It is mostly in Southern
Yes.
California.
From La Jolla to Mostly to Los Angeles. Yeah.
And do you have to actively go seek out those clients, look for people who might be thinking about selling, or are there enough of them that they're coming to you?
It's both. We
Yeah.
market to business owners that might have an interest in selling. And then because we've been in the business for a long time, we get a lot of referrals from other real estate agents, from accountants, from lawyers.
How are you determining what the businesses are worth?
It's a great question. So there's a couple different methodologies that we apply, but the typical method that we use is what we call a multiple of discretionary earnings. And basically for Main Street businesses, they typically sell for a multiple of between 1 and 4 times. So I'll give you an example. A restaurant that, let's say that they gross $500,000 and their net income is $100,000, the average multiple for a restaurant is about 2 times. So the value, and I'm just giving a broad stroke,
Sure.
but the value would be around $200,000.
Many of those businesses are like we were discussing before, a woman's boutique or a men's boutique, clothing boutique. The owners are working there. The buyers are looking for jobs. So when you sell a boutique like that, it's typically the buyer is going to be somebody who wants to work it,
Right.
and be there for the rest of their whatever. But it's
An owner-operator.
Exactly.
yeah, and then the numbers become pretty. If they're doing $500,000, they're typically making $70,000 to $80,000. So that the place would be the multiple too. It would wind up being $150,000 to $175,000 value.
Right. What are the most popular businesses currently that you are trying to move and transition?
Well,
Restaurants?
Restaurants are very popular. Manufacturing companies are sought after. Service businesses are very popular right now. It's a pretty broad stroke. But if you talk to any escrow company, they'll tell you that restaurants make up a bulk of their transactions.
And are these restaurants that you are working with, have they been in business for a long time, well established, or has it been somebody that thought, well, I might like this, turns out I don't?
It's a tough sector right now.
So maybe they're in business for a year or two. Would that business be as strong as, say, a business that's been established for 10 years? Or does it just depend on the multiples?
There's lots of variables. A business that's been around for 2 years and doing very well will demand a good multiple. A business been around for 10 years, but in the last year or two is not doing well, the multiple may be lower. So the most important part of the equation is what's happened in the last 12 to 24 months. Because what you did 5 years ago is not relevant.
Right.
Yes, people want to know, for history and to understand the evolution of the business, what were you doing 5 years ago? But from a valuation standpoint, it's, like I said, it's last basically 2 years.
Evaluation also is decided pretty much. If you're looking to sell your business, you'd be very smart to make sure your books and records are squeaky clean, that they can be understood.
Right.
I've come across so many instances where the company looks great on paper, but when somebody gets the P&Ls, it doesn't make any sense, and it just blows the whole thing.
Sure. What are some other deal killers that you come across that prevent a sale
Landlords.
from happening? Landlords is huge.
Landlords, but the number one thing that stands out in my mind after doing this for 20 years is time. Time kills deals. So meaning, someone's not signing something they need to in the transaction. A landlord's taking too long because every second, every day that ticks by, and you're not moving to the close, something can happen. Like recently with the government shutdown, that completely wiped out financing for SBA. So that was very difficult. And now some of those deals are, now that the government's back open, some of the parties have walked. I don't want to wait around for another 3 months wondering when things are going to happen.
Yeah, got to get them
So-
while they're hot.
So time is really critical. And we tell people, when you get into contract, it's important that we work together until we get it closed. That means all parties: buyer, seller, accountants, lawyers, landlord, everyone working in sync. That's
It's also important to remember how long it takes to sell a business, from 6 to 7 to 8 months. I call it 6 to 9 months to sell a regular business, because many people are thinking, well, I'm going to sell my business, and no, it doesn't happen that quickly.
Right.
It takes quite a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of components, and you really have to find the right buyer that's going to fit in and mesh in with the existing establishment.
No, and Bree, you bring up a good point. Finding the right buyer and having the right seller is so important, because when you have both and you get everyone on the same page, it really makes that transition smoother.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your knowledge and sharing it with our viewers. And next time we have you back, I want to hear some success stories.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure,
we'd love
thank
to.
you so much.
Thank you,
Great,
Bree.
too.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day on Village Television. We'll be back after these messages.